and I am Little Bird Products on Etsy and here on YouTube. What I'd like to talk about today is some men's shirt refashions that I've been doing. I've decided that one of the important things with upcycling is being able to make use of all kinds of different materials. And when I'm thrifting, I have to get out of my mind what something is, what I'm looking at, and think about what it could be, and just mainly look at the materials. So a friend of mine brought over some really nice men's shirts that her partner had thrifted, and they didn't fit him or anyone else they knew, and she wondered if I wanted them. It's like, well, of course I'll take 5 shirts that you've laundered and they look like they're brand new, including a Tommy Bahama one. So I've been thinking about what I wanted to do with them. So what I am going to do is I'm going to remake them into a lady's shirt, similar to what I did with this one. And what I really like with this one, I'm finding I like the t-shirt sleeves. I took the regular sleeves off and I made pockets out of those. And of course, I always have pieces of t-shirts laying around, and especially the sleeves, because I keep a lot of them because I like to make pockets out of them. And what I'm going to do, and I'll take some pictures of this, I'm doing it and show you later on in the video. What I typically do is, let me see if I can adjust the camera a little bit. What I do is I put a little dart here in the bust area, and it's usually right below these pockets, but I like to keep the pockets functional. And because the buttons on men's shirts go the other way, I kind of made a mistake with this one I'm wearing because I used a women's blouse with the placket, and of course it buttons halfway the other way. I don't make that mistake anymore. So what I'd like to do is I like to take and cut the shirt off, except I leave the plackets as they are, leave them up and down. So I sew away from that. And then I take what I've cut off of the men's shirts and I pleat that together and gather it, and that becomes the back of the shirt. And then I look for other shirts that I have, shirt sleeves a lot of times. Now sometimes I kind of lied there. Sometimes I take what I cut off of the shirt and I use it for the front halves of the bottom and pleat that up. And then I look for men's shirt sleeves, other things that are complementary colors, and that's what I put on the back. And I pleat that as well. So there's a lot of little bit more room for us ladies who have hips and like to have that covered. And I find that these cotton shirts, men's cotton shirts, and then I have some silk shirts too, I really like those, that they're great to work with. And when I pleat that up like that, I'm not wasting any of the other shirt. And of course, what I do is the shirts that I cut the sleeves off of and the bottoms off of to make the bottoms of this, I can use the top of that later on and put t-shirt pieces on the bottom. So they're, out of these 5 shirts that I've been given, I will get at least 5 tops that are like that, other men's shirts. And sometimes I embroider on the back. I really like that. I have some steampunk embroidery images, and I might do that with a couple of these. And that's a fun addition. And it does make one of a kind, very comfortably fitting, and I can sell them at a reasonable price because they don't take a lot of time to make. So if you want to make your own, then follow on and watch this video with me. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and yes, that does mean that you need to have a Google account in order to be able to subscribe, sorry. And that doesn't cost you anything. And if you're using Gmail, you already have a Google account. Now see, I really am talking like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm sure there's somebody else out there that has a YouTube video that can help you with getting a Google account, because it's really nice to have subscribers, and that helps support me in being able to do more of these DIY upcycling videos for you. Thank you, and watch and enjoy. Bye. This for the shirts. The sleeves ready. These are 2 t-shirt sleeves, and I have the shirt ready, and I've already tried it on. So the first thing I will do is I will cut these sleeves off and save them for the pockets for later. Then I'm going to serge the edge of these sleeves, but you don't really have to do that. But I just like to do it. And then these get sewn onto the sleeves here. And this is the other shirt I've chosen to pair with it. So what I will be doing is disassembling this shirt and taking the bottom of it off, because that's the other part that will be ruffled on this one. And then the next step will be, what I'll do is measure down how far I want to cut this. And typically it's about 2 to 3 inches below where the sleeve is, but I'll try it on and pin it. Then I will cut beside the placket, because I want to leave the button placket on. I'll cut it up first, then I'll cut across that way. And the same way on the other side, I will cut up. I want to measure across here how far up I want it to be. I'll cut here so that I can keep the placket. And then I will take this and I will ruffle it. I think what I'm going to do is leave this in the front and put that shirt ruffled on the back, or pleated as opposed to ruffled. And I'll show you that as I'm doing it. This is the stitched up product. I put the t-shirt sleeves on my top. And then also, I don't know if you can tell, right in here, there's just a little dart that I put in both sides. This fabric is kind of hard to tell. And then what I did is of course I cut off the bottom and left the plackets. I pinned it up to see what it looks like, and I love the front. And you can see I pleated it. Like I said, this fabric's kind of hard to tell. But then when I came around to the back, and this is the bottom of another shirt, and I pinned this up, I decided that I cut this too long, and I measured it against another shirt that I had made that I love the way it fits. And this is about 2 inches longer than that is. So I have two choices. I have collars from other shirts and sleeves from other shirts. That sometimes what I do is I put those across here. The way this looks with the cuffs across the back. Of course, this is striped and black in the center, and I think I really kind of like that. It kind of offsets it. And this is not pinned up very well, but you can see that it makes nice contrast. And it kind of calls attention to that. So I think rather than cutting it off, I'm just going to embellish it with the cuffs. I need to straighten that out, sew them together, and then I'll make it so that it attaches on the side seam and all the way across the back. And then I have to put the pockets on the front. So I'll be back in a little bit, and I'll have everything attached and show you what it looks like. And here we are again with our finished shirt, and you can see that I added pockets from the shirt sleeves. They blend right in. I cut them down a little bit, made them a little smaller, cut them along the side down here, and then they actually are like double pockets because I left this open. I just don't have my hand in there. There we go. So they're like double pockets. Okay, and you can see that I did decide in the back to put the shirt cuffs that I had left on there. And I think they look kind of cute. I like that. And on this side, here's the other pockets. And they're a double pocket as well. So there's plenty of room. You don't have to carry a purse or a bag when you're wearing these. And I think it looks pretty cool. And it fits really nice. I'm a 2X, and it fits me pretty good. So I like it. I'm going to be making quite a few more, so you can look for them to come in my store the next week or so. And that's my Etsy shop. And I really like these. I'm going to make the next ones instead of shirt pieces around here on the back. What I'm going to do, I'll make this just a little shorter so I don't have to put the cuffs on there, but Then again, I might, because I like the way it's trimmed. So instead of shirt back around the hem, I might use t-shirt pieces because I like using t-shirts for these as well. Not a terribly difficult make, but they wash up really nice and they are so comfortable and they look nice. And of course they have pockets.